What's up, y'all? Happy New Year. This is my first What's Up, y'all, 2023. And I was in the car talking to myself, and I was like, turn it on, Sonya. So, I hope everyone's thriving and, full in your spirit, and at peace in your spirit in this particular turning new iteration of the Gregorian calendar. I'm so present this year to all the other New Years. I'm present to the Chinese New Year. I'm present to the Human Design New Year. I'm present to the Astrological New Year. I'm present to the Maori New Year. I'm so clear that there are other cycles of energy that govern how life moves. And there's information for us about that, about those cycles inside of those other traditions. And so I invite you to go and explore some. The conversation I was having with myself, I was talking about how, I was sharing with several people close to me, about, and this is going to sound a little ungrounded, perhaps, like a little conceptual, but be with me, because I think I'm trying to figure out how to make the conceptual practical, right? Like, how do we do things that are concepts in a practical way? Because one of the concepts that I see us collectively understanding or grasping is this concept of illusion. I was sharing with my father how when I moved to New Zealand last in 2022, the beginning of 2022, I moved a large chunk of my savings to New Zealand. And I'm not living in New Zealand right now. I'm a citizen of the world, and I am not living any place. But most of my affairs, business-related affairs, are still happening inside of the U.S. And so I was like, it makes sense. I probably need to move my money back to the U.S. And I was sharing how when I move my money back to the U.S., I'm going to lose a massive amount of money because the dollar has dropped and the exchange rate is different. And so what I moved to New Zealand will not be what I get back when I move it back here. Is a big number. And and I remember when I first noticed that, I was like, you're about to lose more money than most people make in a year just because you decided to move your money from one place to another, right? And then I was like, Sonya, you've never seen that money. You've never touched that money. It was a number in a bank account. It'll be a different number, but like, it's not actually real. And I understood it at like a real key level. This isn't actually real. And that was what made me be like, right, let it go. Like, there's actually nothing to let go because it wasn't real. And anyway, when I shared this with my dad, I was like, Dad, it's all an illusion, right? Like, I was like, all of it's made up. We made it, all of it's made up, which means that none of it actually holds any real validity to it. And, my dad was like, yeah. And in that moment, I understood that my dad understood that this is all an illusion. And I was like, you know what? Most of us understand that this is all an illusion. The problem is that we don't know how to divest from the illusion. We are like, right, it's an illusion, but it's not an illusion that I owe rent or mortgage, right? Like, that's not an illusion. It's not an illusion that number that is in my bank account, changes when someone comes along and deducts the mortgage from my bank account, or when the gas company comes and takes their money out of my bank account, that number changes, and then I have less of that number to spend on other things. That's not an illusion. And touche, that is not an illusion. Except it is. Except all of it is made up. Except all of it is literally everything that I just described is a transaction that you cannot see, touch, taste, or feel. It's the movement of energy from one location to another location. That's it. It's energetic movement. Right? It's not physical material movement. It's energetic movement. And so, and roll with me here, because this is, like I said, me thinking out loud, playing with a concept that I think could help us, is if it's all energetic movement, I really want you to get into that. It's all energetic movement. And even that which we have made 3D, we have made material, is still energetic movement. When you get in your car and you drive that car, it is energy moving. And it is energy that has turned it into a 3D thing you can sit in. And then there's energy that turns that engine and makes that engine run. And then there is energy that then propels you in that vehicle that was created through energy, that is running off of energy. That movement that you're doing to go someplace is also energy. It's all energy. And so, how do you divest from an illusion? Because energy does not have any specificity around form. Energy is just energy. And one form of energy is not more important, more necessary, more valuable than any other form of energy. It's all energy. And if it's all energy and everything else is an illusion, then you divest from illusions by changing your energy. The illusion, like I lost money, presumably. I'm going to lose money because I haven't moved it yet. I'm going to lose money, presumably. And what I am going to lose is an illusion, is energy, right? It is not, it has no impact on my material world other than in the idea of a thing, what I could have done with it. Guess what? I can't live in what I could have done with it, because that doesn't exist. That's an illusion. What I could have done with that number is an illusion, because it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's a story in my head, right? And so if it's a story in my head, it's not necessary. I don't have to make up that story. That thing that I could have done is no more real than is no more real than the tooth fairy. It's just a story I just made up. And so if we can start understanding when we're in an illusion and start relating to it as such, this isn't real. And if this wasn't real, how would I feel about it? How would I think about it? How would I treat it? What energy would I carry in relationship to it? And if we can start recognizing and changing our energy in relationship to these illusions, the illusions will begin to dissolve. I was like, right, my dad understands it's an illusion, but he lives in it like it's real. And the difference between me and my dad or other people that I know is I recognize it's an illusion, and I am working every day, bringing myself back to awareness in such a way that I relate to it as an illusion. Which means if it's an illusion, then it gets to be anything, right? When people ask me how I live the kind of life I live, It's because I recognize that it's all an illusion, so I can do anything. It's all made up. So what do I want to make up? It's all made up. So whose imagination do I want to live in? And I pick mine every time. I pick my own imagination to live inside of. And not the imagination that's been sold to me by white, cis, hetero, capitalist, ableist, fatphobic patriarchy. Right? So, again, this conceptual idea, right, that it's all an illusion, it's all made up. We mostly get that. But we mostly operate with it like it's real, like it's not an illusion, like it's the truth. And the invitation in this new year is to be like, how would I feel about this thing right now if I knew it was made up? How would I approach this thing right now if I knew it was made up? How would I experience energetically this thing right now if I knew it was made up? Try that on. See where it gets you. This is all an exercise in saying we get to create reality, because reality is just energy. And we get to create what kind of energy and what kind of relationship to energy we have in the world. And all of these systems are an illusion. So how are you going to treat it? How are you going to relate to it? We get to pick. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.